The alarm clock buzzed, but 10-year-old Leo was already awake. He had been looking forward to this day all month, a trip to the zoo with his sister Mia. He loved animals and couldn't wait to see all the amazing creatures, especially the big cats. Lions and tigers were his absolute favorites.
You're up early.
Of course, it's zoo day. How could I sleep in?
Are you two ready? We need to leave soon if we want to see the chimpanzee feeding.
Leo and Mia grabbed their backpacks, already packed with snacks and water bottles. They raced down the stairs, their excitement growing with every step. Today was going to be an awesome day.
Last one to the car is a slowpoke.
Mia squealed with delight and took off after him, her pigtails bouncing. The smell of pancakes drifted from the kitchen, fueling their energy. They scrambled into the car, filled with anticipation. The drive to the zoo was filled with chatter and laughter, as Leo and Mia discussed which animals they wanted to see first. Leo voted for the lions, while Mia was determined to see the penguins. They made a plan to visit as many animals as possible, racing to be the first to spot each creature.
Wow, it's even bigger than I imagined.
Leo nodded in agreement, his heart pounding with excitement. He couldn't believe they were finally here. The zoo had always seemed like a magical place in his storybooks, and now he was about to experience it firsthand. Their parents paid for the tickets, and soon they were walking through the zoo gates, ready for an unforgettable adventure. Everywhere they looked, there was something amazing to see. Colorful parrots perched on branches, monkeys swung from ropes, and a family of meerkats stood guard on a rocky mound. The zoo was laid out like a sprawling park, with winding paths leading to different animal habitats. Each enclosure was designed to mimic the animals' natural environments, with trees, rocks, and pools of water. Leo and Mia were amazed by the attention to detail. It was like stepping into a different world. Their first stop was the African Savanna exhibit. A large, open-air enclosure housed a pride of lions lounging in the sun. Leo gasped in awe at the sight of the majestic creatures. The male lion with its thick mane looked like a king surveying his domain.
They're huge!
He could have stayed there all day, watching them sleep and play. Mia, however, was more interested in the giraffes, gracefully nibbling leaves from the tall trees nearby. Their long necks and spotted patterns fascinated her. She tried to count their spots, but gave up when they moved.
They look so funny when they bend down to drink.
Mia giggled, pointing at a giraffe awkwardly spreading its legs to reach the water trough. Leo had to admit it was pretty comical. He snapped a picture with his camera, already filling up with amazing animal photos. Leo insisted they spend a little more time observing the lions. He was fascinated by their every move.
Did you know lions are the only cats that live in groups called prides?
Mia, though eager to move on to the penguins, listened patiently. She loved how excited her brother got about animals.
The males protect the pride's territory while the females do most of the hunting. They're amazing hunters, using stealth and teamwork to bring down their prey.
He pointed to a nearby sign with a picture of a lioness chasing a zebra. Mia couldn't help but be impressed by their hunting skills. As if on cue, one of the lionesses in the enclosure let out a mighty roar, echoing across the zoo. Mia jumped back in surprise, then giggled at her reaction. The sound was both thrilling and a little bit scary. It was a reminder that these were wild animals, not just cuddly creatures from her storybooks. Next, they moved on to the giraffe enclosure, where Mia was in her element. The giraffes were even taller than she imagined. Their long necks stretched up towards the sky as they gracefully munched on leaves high in the trees.
Look how long their eyelashes are, and their tongues are purple.
They need long tongues to reach those high branches, and the purple color helps protect them from sunburn.
Mia was amazed. She loved learning new things about animals. She pulled out her notepad and jotted down a few fun facts about giraffes. She wanted to remember everything she learned today. As they watched, a baby giraffe stumbled over to its mother, its long legs looking a bit wobbly. The baby nuzzled its mother's side, looking for milk and comfort. Their journey through the zoo continued, leading them to a lively enclosure filled with chattering monkeys, swinging effortlessly from ropes and branches. The air buzzed with their calls and playful screeches, creating a symphony of jungle sounds.
They're so funny.
Mia giggled as a small monkey with bright orange fur swung upside down from the rope, its tail twitching mischievously.
They're not just playing. Grooming helps them stay clean and strengthens their social bonds.
Suddenly, a monkey perched on a high branch tossed a piece of fruit directly at Leo. He ducked just in time, the fruit landing with a soft thud on the ground beside him.
I think he wants to share his lunch.
She teased, pointing at the mischievous monkey, who seemed to be chuckling at them from above. Its thick fur glistened, and its claws looked incredibly powerful. A large brown bear lay sprawled majestically on a rocky platform, enjoying the warm sun. Their walk then brought them to a more tranquil setting, the bear enclosure.
Wow, he's huge.
Mia whispered, a hint of awe in her voice, even though a safe and sturdy barrier separated them from the massive creature.
He looks so cuddly, but I bet he gives big bear hugs.
It took a long drink, water dripping from its furry chin, then lumbered back to its sunbathing spot. They watched in fascination as the bear finally rose and ambled over to a pool of water.
Did you know, brown bears are found all over the world, from North America to Europe and Asia.
Mia shook her head, eager to learn more about these fascinating creatures.
They love berries, fish, and honey. They're omnivores, which means they eat both plants and animals.
He smiled, imagining a bear happily lapping up honey from a beehive.
Wow, look at them. They're so funny in their little tuxedos.
Yeah, but in the water, they're like feathered torpedoes. They can hold their breath for almost 20 minutes.
That's amazing. I wonder if they ever get cold living in such a chilly place.
Actually, penguins have a layer of blubber under their skin that keeps them warm, even in freezing temperatures. I'm not sure about this, Mia. Snakes aren't really my thing.
Come on, Leo. It'll be fun, I promise. Look at that iguana. It's like it's smiling at us.
Those frogs over there are poisonous. Their skin secretes a toxin that can paralyze their prey.
Wow, that's both fascinating and a bit scary. Look at that giant python. It's huge.
Yeah, it's like a living sculpture. Gives me the chills, though.
They seem so wise. Look at those owls.
They have incredible eyesight and hearing, which helps them track down prey in the dark. Owls are nocturnal hunters.
Wow, did you see that? It just turned its head all the way around.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing, aren't they?
Their final stop of the day was the elephant enclosure, a vast open-air habitat designed to mimic the African savanna. A family of elephants roamed the enclosure, their massive bodies moving with surprising grace and agility.
They're huge.
Mia exclaimed, her eyes wide with awe. She had never seen anything so big before.
They're the largest land animals on Earth, and they're really intelligent too.
They watched in fascination as the elephants interacted with each other, using their trunks to communicate, caress their young, and gather food. One of the baby elephants playfully sprayed water from its trunk, eliciting chuckles from the onlookers. Mia couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and respect for these gentle giants. They were a reminder of the diversity and magnificence of the animal kingdom. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the zoo, Leo and Mia knew it was time to head home. As lunchtime approached, Leo and Mia's stomachs began to rumble louder than a lion's roar. They found a shady picnic spot under a giant oak tree, its branches spreading out like protective arms. Spreading out their picnic blanket, they unpacked their lunchboxes. Sandwiches, juice boxes, and animal crackers. What more could hungry explorers need?
Okay, let's play a game. We each have to describe our favorite animal we've seen today, but without saying its name. Whoever guesses first gets the last animal cracker.
You're on.
Leo exclaimed, already thinking about the best way to describe his favorite animal encounter. He knew exactly which animal he would pick, the majestic lion lounging in its sunny domain.
Let me see. My animal is black and white, loves to swim, and waddles like a little gentleman in a tuxedo.
Leo burst into laughter, recognizing the penguins instantly.
Penguins, that was easy.
He chortled, reaching for the last animal cracker.
Hey, it was your turn to guess first.
She protested, her eyes twinkling with amusement. They shared the remaining animal crackers, their laughter echoing through the park. Their playful banter continued as they discussed their favorite animals. Leo, predictably, couldn't stop raving about the lions. He recounted their every move, from their lazy stretches to their powerful roars.
They're just so cool and powerful. I bet I could roar even louder.
Mia rolled her eyes, but she couldn't help but smile at her brother's enthusiasm.
Okay, we get it, you love lions. But penguins are way more fun. They're like little feathered comedians. And they swim like underwater superheroes.
Their friendly debate continued as they walked towards the zoo's central fountain, a refreshing oasis on this warm day. Leo argued that lions were the kings of the jungle, while Mia countered that penguins were the emperors of the Antarctic. They went back and forth, their arguments becoming increasingly silly and exaggerated. They even recruited a nearby family to vote for their favorite animal, turning their debate into a full-blown competition. No trip to the zoo would be complete without a visit to the gift shop, a treasure trove of plush animals, toy figurines, and colorful souvenirs. It's a place where memories are made and cherished. Leo and Mia's eyes widened in amazement as they stepped inside, greeted by rows upon rows of cuddly creatures and exciting trinkets. The vibrant colors and playful designs captured their imaginations instantly.
Look, a stuffed lion.
Leo exclaimed, racing towards a giant plush lion, its mane a cascade of soft golden fur. It was the biggest stuffed animal he'd ever seen. He hugged it tightly, imagining taking it on all his future adventures. In his mind, they were already exploring jungles and savannas together. Mia, meanwhile, was drawn to a display of penguin keychains, each one a miniature replica of the adorable birds they had observed earlier. The tiny penguins seemed to waddle just like the real ones. She carefully chose one for herself and one for her best friend back home. She knew her friend would love it as much as she did.
I told you.
They spent what felt like hours browsing the shelves, carefully selecting the perfect souvenirs to commemorate their zoo adventure. Each item they picked held a special memory of their day. Leo finally settled on a lion keychain to match Mia's penguin, a small but meaningful token of their shared experience. While Mia couldn't resist adding a colorful picture book about endangered animals to her collection. She loved learning about the animals and wanted to know more. As they left the gift shop, their arms laden with treasures, Leo turned to Mia with a mischievous grin. Their hearts were full of joy and excitement.
Okay, I admit it, penguins are pretty cool.
He conceded, clutching his new penguin keychain. Mia beamed triumphantly, her eyes sparkling with delight.
I told you.
She exclaimed, her penguin keychain swinging proudly from her backpack. It was a perfect end to a perfect day at the zoo. As the day drew to a close, Leo and Mia walked hand in hand with their parents towards the zoo exit, their steps a little slower now, their energy depleted but their spirits soaring. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the zoo, making the end of their adventure feel even more magical. They were exhausted but exhilarated, their minds buzzing with all the amazing animals they had encountered. Every step they took was filled with the excitement of recounting their favorite moments.
Did you have fun today?
Their mom asked, smiling down at her two tired adventurers, her heart full seeing their joy.
Best day ever.
Leo exclaimed, his voice hoarse from a day of excitement and enthusiastic animal imitations. He'd spent hours mimicking the roars of lions and the trumpeting of elephants. Mia nodded vigorously in agreement, her arms wrapped tightly around her new stuffed penguin, a souvenir she would treasure forever.
I can't believe we saw real-life lions, penguins, and elephants. It was like stepping into a different world, a world where the wildest dreams of their imaginations came to life.
As they piled into the car, the setting sun casting long shadows across the parking lot, they felt a sense of contentment wash over them. Leo and Mia knew they would cherish the memories of this special day forever. They talked about their favorite animals and the funny moments they shared. They had not only witnessed the wonders of the animal kingdom, but they had also strengthened their bond as siblings, sharing laughter, adventure, and a newfound appreciation for the importance of wildlife conservation. Their laughter echoed the joy of the day. The zoo, they realized, was more than just a fun day out. It was a window into a world beyond their own, a world filled with wonder, beauty, and the responsibility to protect our planet's precious creatures. It was a day that opened their eyes to the beauty and fragility of the natural world.
As they drove home, the cityscape slowly replacing the sprawling landscape of the zoo, Leo gazed out the window, his mind still buzzing with images of the day. He pictured the lions basking in the sun, their power palpable even from afar. He remembered the comical waddle of the penguins, their black and white plumage stark against the icy backdrop.
Mia, nestled beside him, clutched her stuffed penguin, its soft fur a comforting presence. She, too, replayed the day's highlights in her mind. The giraffes, with their impossibly long necks and gentle eyes, had captivated her. The mischievous monkeys, swinging from ropes and snatching treats, had made her giggle uncontrollably. "Mom, did you know that giraffes have purple tongues to protect them from sunburn?"
Their mother, smiling at her children's enthusiasm, replied, "I didn't know that. You've both learned so much today."
Leo nodded, his mind racing. He thought about the informative signs posted outside each enclosure detailing the animals' habitats, diets, and behaviors. He had soaked up the information like a sponge, eager to understand these creatures from far-flung corners of the world.
Their father, noticing Leo's contemplative silence, asked, "What are you thinking about, Leo?"
"I'm thinking about how important it is to protect these animals," Leo replied, his voice serious for a moment. "The signs said that some of them are endangered because of things like habitat loss and poaching."
His parents exchanged a proud look. The zoo wasn't just about entertainment, it was about education and fostering a sense of responsibility towards the natural world.
You're right, Leo. It's our job to make sure these amazing creatures have a future. We can all do our part by supporting conservation efforts and making responsible choices.
Mia, her initial excitement tempered by this new understanding, chimed in, "Like recycling and not buying products that harm animals."
Exactly, her mother affirmed. Every little bit helps.
The conversation continued, weaving its way through topics of deforestation, pollution, and climate change. Leo and Mia listened intently, their young minds absorbing the gravity of these issues, but also the hope that came with taking action. As they pulled into their driveway, the sun setting behind them, the exhaustion of the day finally catching up with them, their eyes heavy with fatigue, Leo and Mia couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment and joy. They had not only experienced the thrill of seeing incredible animals up close like never before, but they had also gained a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all living things, a lesson that would stay with them.
"I'm going to miss hearing the lions roar, their powerful voices echoing through the air," Leo said with a sigh as they entered the house. The warmth of home enveloping them, the familiar sounds of home a stark contrast to the wild symphony of the zoo, a place so full of life.
"Me too," Mia agreed, her voice soft and thoughtful, clutching her stuffed penguin a little tighter as if holding on to the memories. "But at least we have our pictures and memories," she added with a smile.
That evening, after sharing stories and photos with their grandparents who listened with rapt attention, Leo and Mia drifted off to sleep, their minds replaying the day's adventures, their dreams filled with images of soaring eagles, playful monkeys, and graceful giraffes, each animal leaving a lasting impression. The zoo, they realized, wasn't just a place to visit for a day, it was a magical world. It was a world unto itself, teeming with life and wonder. A world that sparked their imagination and ignited a passion for learning and conservation, a passion that would grow with them. The lessons they had learned extended far beyond the zoo's gates into their everyday lives. They had discovered the importance of respecting all creatures, big and small, regardless of their size or habitat, understanding that every creature has a role to play. They had learned that even small actions like recycling and conserving water could make a difference, could have a big impact on the planet, teaching them the value of stewardship and care for the Earth. As they drifted off to sleep, Leo and Mia knew that this wasn't goodbye to their wild friends at the zoo. It was simply, see you later, a promise to return. They couldn't wait to visit again, to learn more about the animals they loved, and to continue their journey as ambassadors for wildlife conservation. The zoo had opened their eyes to a world of wonder and responsibility, a world where every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest elephant, played a vital role in the ecosystem. They were determined to do their part to protect this precious planet and its inhabitants, ensuring that future generations could experience the same joy and awe they had felt on their unforgettable day at the zoo. Their adventure had just begun, and there was so much more to discover.